Alex Pereira's explosive comeback. 82nd TKO stuns Ankalaev at UFC 320. Las Vegas was on fire Saturday night as Alex Pereira stormed back to reclaim his UFC Light Heavyweight crown in electrifying fashion, needing just 80 seconds to finish Magomed Ankalaev and silence any doubts about who truly rules the 205-pound division. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement, and perhaps the most powerful one of Pereira's career. The Brazilian powerhouse, now 14-3, came into UFC 320 with something to prove after dropping the title to Ankalaev in March. Back then, he looked hesitant, off balance, and a shadow of his usual self. But this time, he was a man on a mission. From the opening bell, Pereira charged forward, unleashing calculated chaos. A perfectly timed right hand to the chin followed by a brutal series of elbows on the ground that left Ankalaev unable to defend himself. Referee intervention came swiftly, and in just over a minute, Pereira was once again the UFC Light Heavyweight Champion. It was a dramatic reversal of their first encounter, and one that cemented Pereira's legacy as one of the sport's most dangerous finishers. The TKO marked his 12th career knockout and the second fastest title fight finish in UFC Light Heavyweight history, just behind Vitor Belfort's legendary 49-second win over Randy Couture back in 2004. For Ankalaev, the loss was crushing. Not only was it the first knockout defeat of his career, but it also ended a 14-fight unbeaten streak that had made him one of the division's most feared contenders. After the fight, Pereira admitted that the man who fought in March wasn't at his best. "I told everyone I wasn't in good condition last time," he said through an interpreter. "Everyone saw the real me tonight," and he wasn't exaggerating. Reports from his camp revealed that Pereira entered their first fight nursing a fractured tibia, battling illness, and relying on antibiotics. He estimated he was fighting at 40% capacity back then, a stark contrast to the 100% monster that showed up at UFC 320. Inside the octagon, Pereira looked unstoppable. He outlanded Ankalaev 28-4 in total strikes before the referee waved it off. The victory placed him in elite company as only the third fighter in UFC history to hold the light heavyweight title twice, joining legends Jon Jones and Randy Couture. Following his victory, Pereira paid tribute to Jones and his family, asking for a moment of silence for the late Arthur Jones, Jon's older brother, who passed away earlier in the week. Interestingly, both Jones and Pereira have expressed interest in facing each other in the past. Jones, who recently hinted at coming out of retirement, might now have the perfect opponent waiting for him. But Pereira's future is wide open. He could defend his title against Jiří Procházka, who delivered a spectacular knockout of Khalil Rountree Jr. earlier in the night, or face rising star Carlos Ulberg, who was in attendance after his recent win in Australia. There's also talk and excitement about Pereira moving up to heavyweight to chase even bigger glory. At the post-fight press conference, UFC CEO Dana White confirmed that Pereira's team had already discussed a potential move to heavyweight, though he expressed some caution. "Jumping from middleweight to heavyweight in the UFC isn't like boxing. It's a massive leap," White said. "But I love the guy. We'll see where it goes." If Pereira does move up, he'd be chasing something historic. No fighter has ever held UFC titles in 3 weight divisions. Dvalishvili dominates again, extends historic streak. In the co-main event, Merab Dvalishvili continued his incredible run, dismantling Cory Sandhagen to successfully defend his bantamweight title for the third time. Dvalishvili, 21-4, was relentless, overwhelming Sandhagen with his trademark pressure and wrestling. By round 2, the champion had dropped Sandhagen with a flurry of punches, scoring 8 takedowns on 13 attempts and landing 33 significant strikes compared to Sandhagen's 2. Though Sandhagen showed heart, he never managed to turn the tide. The judges scored it 49-45, 49-45, and 49-46, all for Dvalishvili, who admitted he was shocked he couldn't get the finish. "I wanted the knockout, almost had it," he said with a grin, "but now people will respect my striking too." Still, it was Dvalishvili's wrestling that truly stole the show. Over 5 rounds, he attempted an incredible 37 takedowns and landed 20, a new UFC record for a title fight. He now holds the all-time record for most takedowns in UFC history at 117. The victory extended his streak to 14 consecutive wins, making it the 4th longest in UFC history. The Georgian machine hasn't lost since 2018 and remains the number 3 pound-for-pound fighter in the sport. Sandhagen, 18-6, one of America's most technically gifted strikers, was hoping to become the only active U.S. male champion, a title that's been missing since Jon Jones vacated the heavyweight belt earlier this year. But on this night, Dvalishvili's dominance left no room for surprises. From Pereira's thunderous redemption to Dvalishvili's relentless mastery, UFC 320 was a night that reminded fans why mixed martial arts is the ultimate test of heart, power, and resilience. And if Pereira's 80-second destruction was any indication, the light heavyweight division, and maybe even heavyweight, might soon belong entirely to him.
For full video, click related link below or like and subscribe this channel.